Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 23, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position, you have no outside distractions. You're relaxing into your body. You're still as a statue, focused on your breath, rising and falling. You are already perfect, only you don't know it. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. There's most likely ingrained in us that through countless years of programming, it's a belief that many of us believe that we're lacking, unworthy, incomplete, or disconnected in some way. Usually, you don't really notice this subconscious program running in the background until you hit one of those deeply challenging days. Or when you don't get enough sleep, you have a squabble with your partner, and then you can see it very clearly. The feelings of lack, unworthiness, and not enoughness sneak in. And these feelings of never being enough start slipping in behind every thought, intention, and eventually totally consume this beautiful moment of life. This part truly believes it is lacking love and deep connection. It hides out of sight, perhaps out of embarrassment, to avoid being seen as the failure it believes it is. Mr. Never Enough makes every desperate attempt to prove his worth. He tries to become extra successful, reaching for outrageous achievements, all in an attempt to feel worthy of the love he believes he doesn't deserve. This not enough program creates a slew of future suffering. It ignites tears of being wrong, being judged, and an insufficiency in confidence which drives the mind to chase faster, grasp harder for that special something that life appears to be missing. Now you can imagine this part is similar to a prisoner gripping tight onto the bars of his jail cell, his face full of anger and his heart desperate for freedom. For years he shakes the bars, screams at the guards, and sinks deeper into self-abandonment. His white-knuckled fists only blind him from realizing that the door to his cell was never locked. He was always free to leave his prison at any time. This is the trick of a great mind. It convinces you that you are stuck, you are less than, and that you are never enough. It says you must do more, become more, fix yourself, improve, evolve, wake up before you can truly be at peace. But recognize that this game was rigged from the start. The search for self-worth is like chasing after the sunset. You can run towards it for the rest of your life, and it will never get any closer. And as Lao Tzu stated, be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. When any of us stop running and have a lazy walk and talk with Mr. Never Enough, you discover a much deeper truth. This part is enjoying the game of striving to arrive, and one glorious day he will finally have enough, do enough, and be enough. The illusion of not being enough is what fuels the constant need to fix, change, control, and strive. But who is the one striving? And who is the one convinced they are unworthy? When you look closely, you can see that this belief does not come from your soul. It comes from a wounded part in the mind who was trained by this world to doubt himself, herself. As you step even further back and see how deeply involved he is in reaching his goals and winning this game, a sort of soft, gentle peace comes through you. A calm, loving voice steps in and reminds me, the most challenging times are gifts to help soften our hard ego. We were never lacking, unworthy, or never enough. Our soul is eternal. We are divinity itself, absolutely perfect, very lovable, just the way we are. The gentle voice continues to affirm that. You came here to play this game of life, take on these self-imposed imaginary limitations. The voice then shows you how this not enough game is a genius level tool for us to create limits to surpass, illusions to dissolve, and give us the experience of growth and maturity until we discover our spiritual freedom. Of course, even after such a deep realization like this, the mind will most likely try to keep on the same track. It will continue jumping from thought to thought, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch, always chasing, always hungry, and never satisfied. It has to cling to some type of illusion that something is missing in order to create this fertilizing loop of desire, neediness, karmic suffering, which acts like fertilizer for our soul. You need not leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. You need not even listen. Simply wait. Just learn to become quiet and still and solitary. This world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. Franz Kafka. So, how to deal with this monkey mind? There's always another possible way to liberate ourselves. We are currently not aware of the infinite possibilities that exist within our tiny little fishbowl we call reality. What if you can simply let go of the mind and surrender to what already is? The moment you stop fighting to prove your worth is the same moment you realize it was never in question. Existence is enough as it is. It must also mean that your soul is enough as it is. The moment the mind stops looking for an outside source to grant the perfect whole being you already are, you discover the actual gold mine inside. Beware This world will always try to convince you otherwise. It will hand you an endless list of conditions to meet before you are good enough to rest, to love yourself, to be free. But that list is fueling the great illusion. Burn it. Walk away. Let yourself dissolve into the truth that nothing is missing. Your spiritual worthiness is your radiant presence. This pure presence of consciousness in you is like a ray of light shining from the sun. And when you look even closer into it, that one little ray will reveal that it is never disconnected from the source. Its light trail behind reminds us to remember that we are the source of all love, that we experience in life. We cannot ever be spiritually separate from the light and are forever supported by the divine. And our inner light allows us to see beyond all darkness, revealing the enlightening truth that has always been there. You are not limited to the body. You are the vastness of existence itself. The moment you stop believing in smallness, you remember your infinite nature, Ramana Maharishi. Stop your mind from thinking about any thought for just 2 minutes. Be empty of all thought. And you will peel back the veil to feel the highest, deeply eternal loving in this universe. This love is already inside of you now. It is here in this very moment. Yet you cannot feel it fully because you're still giving more attention to the thoughts fluttering about in your mind. Stop your mind by paying more attention to your breath and heartbeat. Notice what is singing through your soul. The spiritual force inside you is mighty powerful and will wash away all barriers to self-love, guiding you toward a life filled with peace and joy. Your authentic willingness to embrace your own worth is the path to knowing how lovable you already are. Deep feelings of worthiness and lifetimes of letting in love are within you now. They are encouraging you to welcome in loving relationships, experiences, and deep self-acceptance. As you practice releasing your unworthiness saboteur this week, remember that whenever doubt arises, you can call on your spiritual worthiness to shine its golden light upon you. This universe is grateful for your courage to receive love, and your angels rejoice as you finally offer yourself the same kindness and support they have always given you. Worthiness is now. Freedom is now. Peace is now. You are enough now. And there is no need to search for what has never been lost. You're already home. You always have been, always will be, forever beyond and forever. So we have this choice of comprehending everything, just about everything, that has been laid out before us since the beginning has been misinformation. It's misinformation. It isn't truthful. Now you can imagine all the lifetimes that you have so far experienced, each one usually filled with disinformation, which you follow because of the fact that you just don't, what else do you know to countermine that? You don't. None of us do. So we do it. And as these bodies grow and as we experience more and more in each life, we pick up other things. And we apply them. And then the subconscious mind, our recorder, plays them back to us randomly. So sometimes we will relive certain things that we have already experienced, but with a couple of different twists because the subconscious mind plays it back. It collects everything. It records everything. And it plays it back randomly. All of this is our ability to discover, or however you look at it, rediscover our awareness, our enlightenment, our deep eternal love is all within us. It's within these bodies. It's with the God. It's with the kingdom of God. It's with the heaven. It's the pure consciousness. It is what all of us are. Imagine the amount of knowledge, information, and experience in this very now moment throughout this galaxy, this universe, all connecting universes and beyond, of all intelligent life and species, all experiencing. All of that goes into the one, every moment. Now you can see and begin to realize that all of us have the ability to tap into that vastness, to know it, to embrace it, without question, without doubt, automatic. And this is why we're on this journey, this infinite journey, to continually discover, is continually create and experience. Knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. And this is how we continue to create. I mean, it's massive. The mind, there's no way it can comprehend it. But all of us are plugged into that. We haven't identified it. We haven't come full circle yet, where we experience our ability to master the ego mind, right? And our thoughts. And at that stage, and being in the now, is the only way we can do that. And then to experience total freedom. Deep eternal love for oneself in all things outside of oneself. You might look at yourself in the mirror and you might notice that there are certain parts of your body that you don't care for. Other parts you do. But then you realize you love them all. Because our energy is determined by our direction. It is by how we determine what our direction is at any moment. Shall we determine that direction? And then we experience it. But then you say to yourself, why would I express and use energy in a direction that isn't loving? Think about that. Why would any of us use our magnificent powers to focus on things that are not loving? Well, one can say that, well, you know, you get in a habit and you just do it. Don't think about it. It's just automatic. So then you say, well, I really don't care to do that. So I care. I want to focus on this present moment, the now, and go deep within me to know who and what I am. All the discoveries, you know, all the things that we may suppress or, you know, put into that closet and forget about it, right? And then each time you go by the closet, which is deep within you, you're tempted to turn the knob on the door and open it. But then you say, no, maybe later. Maybe next time. And then eventually, it gets so full, and the pressure is so great against the door, that one day it just springs open, and everything comes tumbling out. This is where we become, where everything seems to have gone astray, and everything comes tumbling in. All of it, all the things that we didn't embrace, all the things that we didn't find out why they were there through this life, come tumbling out. Now that's a challenge for anyone, and it happens without us knowing what is really happening. And all these things come out that we have just basically said, you're going to deal with it. Just keep it in there, all right? I really don't have time to deal with that. I'm not interested in dealing with that. Just keep it in there. Maybe another time. But the challenge is that we keep piling it and piling it and piling things up, and eventually the door is going to break and it's all going to come out. Is that a negative? No, it's us embracing everything, all of it. Good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, embracing it all. And this is how we begin to feel lighter, freer. Basically, the old saying, footloose, fancy free. So all this stuff, right? All the stuff out there that you can be trained in and philosophize in and interact with. And unless you decide that you're going to go within, none of that stuff is going to have any influence on your decision. Unless you're receptive with yourself enough to open the doors. So you can have someone who has learned, in a way been educated on the spirituality of existence. And write books, philosophize, but really have never had first-hand experience in any of it. The experience would not be the same. It would be different. So when you convey something to another of your experience about something, it is not necessarily taken the same way that you took it when you experienced it. Suggestive thought is another very powerful thing, because suggestive thought means that you're discussing something with someone, and then they listen to you explain certain things, and then whether you know it or not, you create those things. When I did tarot readings and card readings, and there would be, the client would be looking for things in their lives. They want answers to those things. Now, you're going by the cards. They're wishing and hoping that it's all going to be good, right? So you lay the cards out, and you go through the cards. And you explain to them what each card's meaning is and what its impact can be in their lives. Now, you got to be very careful, because when you do that and their attention is on that, many times it happens that what you say, they create for themselves. So it's an intricate thing. You got to be very careful on how you convey the information, because not all the time, but most of the time, they are listening, and at the same time as that information comes in, they're creating, they're manifesting. I would have the females come in, and they would want to know, and same with the males, they would want to know, when am I going to meet the one? And so I would do the cards, and then I would explain to them the opportunities and how they create and they manifest, and that, one day in this situation, in this part of the world, that they would meet the one. And the inevitability is that they would meet the one. And a lot of it was due to the information I shared with them, and so they manifested the one, the situation, the area, the surroundings, the circumstances, all of it. Without knowing it, with thinking and believing that the cards were doing it for them, and in actuality, the cards were just opening the doors for them to walk through. So when we go in to discover who and what we are, and that means we go all the way to the center. It's not like we just go down a couple floors. We go all the way to the center. And we discover things about ourselves. But see, this is how we maintain in the now, in meditation, where we're not judging ourselves. We're kind, generous, humble, loving with ourselves at all times. We're on these adventures of discovery of ourselves, of who and what we are within these bodies. That's what we're all doing here on this planet, some of us in it. We're here to discover, by choice, to go within to discover who and what we are, to free ourselves from our ego mind and our thoughts, and to be just wild and free, and to be master manifestors and to be able to implement that whenever we choose. Right now, on this planet, we are not, many of us are not there with that. But we've existed in so many lifetimes, pretty much the same process. Okay? And then after so many thousands of lifetimes, you come to, and you're in this lifetime. You say, you know, it's time for me to move on. You know, I've played in this playground many lifetimes. I'm going to go find a new playground, go within, discover exactly who and what I am in this body, and then discovering that I am what? Omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant being that never dies. And I'm wearing this temporary suit, this body, to afford me to experience phenomenal things. Phenomenal things. Magnificent every day. And therefore, I'm here to enjoy this suit, this life, every step of the way. Even the stuff that's not that great. I'll enjoy that too. It all depends on what we truly want through our heart minds. Through the years, as I've been giving these meditations, and the millions who have listened to them over and over again across the planet, I know because I get letters all the time. There's certain vibrational harmonics, right, that they pick up on in these meditations, and then they bring in the information that they feel will explain certain things that kind of like the missing key to the door, where they're kind of at a standstill. This information comes in, and it puts the pieces together, so to speak. Because whether we know it or not, this is the true path. Enlightenment, which is within us, the gods that we are. Mastering our thoughts and our ego mind, so that's gone. Realizing that we are omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. And that literally we can manifest anything we choose. That isn't even, there's no argument with that. There's no debate. Sure, the ego mind might try to debate you with it. But all in all, it's exact. It's perfect. This is why, does it make any sense to any of us that we wouldn't have that ability? Come onto this planet, and there's all kinds of things going on, right? And it's a mishmash of this and that and that and this. And most of us suffer, most of us worry and stress at certain points and times in this life. Instead, on the flip side, we don't do that anymore. We know who we are. Here to enjoy this life. And yes, we do sprinkle in a little bit of spice here and there on the things we create. We move into our lives and we experience them. All of us, if you've heard me say over and over again, all of us deserve the best of everything because we are. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. True inner peace, outer power is generated. With inner freedom, boundless love is created. Meditate on pure consciousness. Feel the inner peace and the outer power. You will discover your divinity. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Monday, March 24, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there or within you, open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.